I want to play a short clip and then go to Roger Stone, who wasn't even scheduled today, but I saw a late night tweet from like 2 in the morning. I was up, hit him back and said, yeah. And he said, well, there's a lot of intrigue. And so, yes, I'll pop in. He's going to pop in for just like 10 minutes. But first, I've got to start getting to these Donald Trump clips. Trump blast Hillary and rigged system.
There's one thing we all have learned. We can't fix the rigged system by relying on and I mean this so strongly, on the very people who rigged it. And they rigged it. And do not ever think anything differently. We can't solve our problems by counting on the politicians who created our problems. The Clintons have turned the politics of personal enrichment into an art form for themselves. They've made hundreds of millions of dollars selling access, selling favors, selling government contracts, and I mean hundreds of millions of dollars. Secretary Clinton even did all of the work on a totally illegal private server. Something that how she's getting away with this, folks, nobody understands. Designed to keep her corrupt dealings out of the public record, putting the security of the entire country at risk, and a president in a corrupt system is totally protecting her. Not right. I am going to give a major speech on probably Monday of next week, and we're going to be discussing all of the things that have taken place with the Clintons. I think you're going to find it very informative and very interesting.
They're creating a master dossier. I know that's separate from Stone. From the Inquirer and Larry Nichols. And others.
I wonder if the press will want to attend. Who knows?
I love this guy. He's for real.
Hillary Clinton turned the State Department into a private hedge fund. The Russians, the Saudis, the Chinese all gave money to Bill and Hillary and got favorable treatment in return. It's a sad day in America when foreign governments with deep pockets have more influence in our own country than our great citizens.
This man did this as he won the historic primaries and got more votes than any Republican ever has. This is unprecedented. Believe me, he would not be working for them as a shill and saying this because this damage to them is irrevocable. He is risking his life, and I have never seen gigantic elephant huevos anywhere near this size by somebody at this level. This is true manliness. Even though he's not perfect, I don't care. I'm all in for Donald Trump. I admire this guy. I tentatively started supporting him a year ago because I knew Hillary was pure evil. I'm so proud I made the right choice. My gut said do it. Don't just sit back and, oh, both are bad and, you know, act like I'm all high and mighty. I am all in. But I'm telling you, folks, it is a death battle. This is so hardcore. Roger Stone, the latest, just bang, bam, bam. And I got a lot to talk about. What to expect next, where we're going, what the real numbers are. The Sanders people, they just got robbed. They admit that. Even a lot of liberal media is admitting it. How does Trump reach out and say, look, they're trying to steal it from me and him. Come to the guy the establishment hates. Goldman Sachs, the big money. They're all against me. Don't be idiots. Hillary's a fascist warmonger. Roger Stone, what do we do?
Well, first of all, Alex, pardon me if I have kind of a Cheshire grin over that performance by Trump, but I'm really happy because he's back on offense. He is breaking through because the mainstream media coverage, even of the Clinton financial crimes, has been inadequate. With the one exception of the New York Times, which has been exceptional, the mainstream media has been disinterested in the biggest two thieves since Bonnie and Clyde. And Trump is going to lay this out chapter and verse for the American people. It is one of Hillary's greatest vulnerabilities. It goes beyond just greed, and that's the issue. I think that's the key word, the epic greed of the Clintons. They've also put our national interests at risk, selling nuclear secrets, or pardon me, military secrets.
Delivery systems.
To the Chinese through L'Oreal. In this case, trading millions of dollars with the Russians and the Chinese and the Saudis, as Trump said. So I was very glad to see Trump pivot. I think Trump University is behind us. Now, even that is an outrage, because what I now know more than the last time I was with you, Alex. Laureate education is a multi-billion-dollar Wall Street scam in which Bill took $16 million in fees. We don't know what he took in stock options because it's never been disclosed. And shortly thereafter, Hillary laid $150 million in federal money on Laureate education, a failing chain of schools.
Sure. I mean, their program is to be totally criminal to a level where they're interconnected so they can never go down. His Skype just went down, so that's why I'm interrupting here. Okay, we have him back. Roger, good to have you back with us, my friend. Go ahead. New York Daily News, Politico and others admitting that Hillary stole this from Sanders and he was the real guy and the superdelegates robbed him. Don't we make a big deal out of that and reach out to the third of the Sanders people that you talked about who aren't total communist idiots and say, come on, go for Trump? Isn't that the big drive? If Trump came out and said, hey, Sanders got robbed, they're trying to rob me, go with me?
He actually said it last night. I think the exact quote is, to those Bernie Sanders systems who believe the nomination was rigged by superdelegates, we welcome you with open arms. Now, he said this right after he made the point that both he and Sanders oppose the globalist trade deals like NAFTA and TPP that have destroyed the American job market. And we know that he and Bernie Sanders are both non-interventionists, not neocons, as Hillary Clinton is. So I think there's a real opportunity there. That is why the Soros crowd is trying to smear Trump as a bigot and a racist, because those left-leaning votes will go to Trump if they don't disqualify Trump by smearing him.
Man, I just hope some of the liberals aren't idiots. I mean, how obvious is this, that the whole power structure hates Trump?
Well, look, there was a lot of piling on last week because we got sidetracked in the ridiculousness of the Trump University case. This is a political case. This is a peanut compared to the multi-million-dollar theft in the for-profit education.
And so Trump only took the bait in that he debated that instead of ignoring it and moving on. Even though he's right about the judge, it's a side trail.
He's right about the entire thing, but I am of the theory that anytime Trump is not talking about Hillary Clinton's failed record, her abuse of women, or her corruption, or her incompetence, or her lying, and that he isn't talking about trade and immigration and our ridiculous fiscal situation and our broken...
I totally agree.
I've written a terrific piece on Huma Abedin for Breitbart, which will be posted momentarily.
Oh, Hillary's girlfriend?
Well, I'm more concerned about the fact that...
The Muslim connection?
Yes, she's seen all of the...
Yeah, I don't care if Hillary's got 2 or 3 girlfriends. The issue is this woman works for Iran, basically, right?
Well, I think she works for the Saudis. And one of the things that I learned was that prior to her either hooking up with the Clintons, she buys a very expensive home in the Washington suburbs, and the handbags that she's carrying go for about $1,500 a piece. Her parents are academics. She has an enormous amount of money, which is a trademark of a spy, interestingly enough. She edits radical Muslim journals in college. Her family is tied to groups that are tied to bin Laden. I lay it all out for Breitbart. Now, the last person to do this was a reporter at Vanity Fair. Of course, he was savagely attacked by Media Matters for America. I found the Media Matters for America piece on Huma. 22 lies, falsehoods, complete obfuscations of the truth. So I think it should be untruthfulness matters for the folks over at MMFA.
Sure, I knew she was connected to the Saudis, but also to the Iranians. I mean, this lady just off the chart, I mean, as a spy. I mean, the evidence pointing towards it. And then Hillary accidentally for years with this server saying put secret stuff. She knows everything she's doing is being watched. It sounds to me like it's instead of dropping the package under the park seat to the Russians or the Chinese or everybody, she just does it openly on the damn server and then gets money in her foundation.
The biggest problem, though, is that, or one of the most notable things, is that Huma is the only person in the State Department to receive a special waiver that allowed her to not only get a full-time salary at state at the highest level, but also to be paid by Teneo Strategies, the same place where Ed Rollins, who claims he's running a pro-Trump super PAC, works, at a Clinton-connected lobbying entity, while she's triple-dipping at the Clinton Foundation. At the same time, she and Cheryl Mills are the two women who go through all of Hillary's emails and decide what we can see and what we can't see. Now, since we know that there's classified and top secret information in the emails, Huma, who's most likely a spy for a foreign government, has had full access to all that classified material. As an American, I find that troubling. It was definitely much easier to conceal their crimes and what they were really like as people when we only had 3 television networks and a handful of national newspapers, the good old 80s. So if the Washington Post caught on to their corruption or heard from a Secret Service agent that Hillary had thrown a marble ashtray at Bill and grazed his cheek, that story could be suppressed. Today, those stories can't be suppressed. And I just don't think the Clintons understood that we are now going to re-adjudicate all of their greatest hits. Travelgate, Vince Foster, Filegate, the Mark Rich pardons, Monica Lewinsky.
Fast and Furious. Obamacare was her brainchild. Everything is her. Everything. This woman squatting on us.
Libya, Benghazi, but the overthrow of Gaddafi and the fact that women in Libya have been put back 200 years.